going on, everybody? Robin here with Oracle Rising. Thanks for joining me today, guys. So the principle or the message I wanted to get across here is that the more that we think we know, the less that we actually know. I was doing a daily tarot card reading on my other channel, Aries Fire Tarot, and I used this for Tuesdays, the Starseed Oracle. And I pulled a card, and it was about the Hathors. And then I read the card, and I thought, well, that was really cool. But then I also thought, who? Like, I've never heard of these people, the Hathors. But it was really, really a moving and touching message. So I wanted to cover it more on this channel, where I'm like more guided towards helping you guys on ascension path. So I did a little bit of additional research on who the Hathors are. And I don't want to read the card here for you guys because that would be spamming my other channel. But what I'll do is put a link to that reading down below in the description box if you're at all interested in checking it out. It was pretty cool. But so what I did was, like, I have the book here, and there's the author, Rebecca Campbell, and she has a website, rebeccacampbell.me, the Hathors. And she was talking about her visit to Egypt and going to Dendera, to the temple of Hathor. So I found so much information about who the Hathors are, and they're talked about as a race of extraterrestrial beings. And it's also, I found information where there is a Hathor goddess. So there's a lot of information here, you guys. And like with anything else I cover, please feel free to do your own research. You know, start pulling the string yourself. I'm here to start conversations. If you guys want to talk about it in the comments, or if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, just, you know, shoot me an email. I think my email address is down below, or whatever. Just hit me in the comments. So interdimensional beings was one of the key phrases that I found, and I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of people that believe that, you know, humans are the only race, and that's just like mind-boggling. So I do a lot of meditations, and I follow Steve Noble because his meditations are unreal. And I was actually doing one last night, and it was a starseed, I don't know, transmission or something like that. And he kept on talking about different races, you know, of intergalactic beings. And I'm an Arcturian starseed. So if I believe that I'm part of another race of being, like, how could I not believe that there's other things out there? And he was talking about the Palladians, and just, there was such a list, and I promised myself I was going to remember it without writing it down, but here we are. So anyway, so this is what I found for myself here. The Hathors are interdimensional beings, and they're on a mission to help humans. I know the general media would like everybody to be absolutely terrified and mortified by intergalactic beings, but I mean, what I've been able to uncover is that they're on a higher dimension. They've gone through the 3D, 4D, and they're in 5D, and they are beings of light and love, and they're here to help us rather than hinder us. And they're kind of, you know, observing this episode of Earth right now, but they are here to help us. So there's the intergalactic beings, and I think my neighbor's outside yelling at 7:30 in the morning, but I can't stop that, so I hope you guys can't hear him. So there's this, you know, space race of Hathors, and then there's the goddess Hathor, who is said to be the mother goddess of the world, and she's often depicted with bovine features because she's such a caring mother. And this Rebecca Campbell, she went to this temple in Dendera again, and she was expecting. So I'm going to go on a pause. This guy is unbelievable. Okay, so I'm back, and yes, we're in my kitchen. It might be a bit cluttered, but I wanted to be in front of my laptop because there's this Rebecca Campbell website that she talked about this, and it seems like she's really, really deeply moved by this because of the mother connection. And what else does she say here? she said the Hathors felt both of this world and not of this world, and they held such a gentle grace. Their wise faces, which look so much like wombs. I mean, that sounds hideous, but a deep, deep mother holding. As we move our way through the incredible pillars, I found myself laying on my back in absolute awe at the intricate details of the temple ceilings, which only ever deepened the mystery more. And that's exactly how I felt when I started doing research on this. And it was just going everywhere. There's so many websites devoted to this Hathor being and beings. So, and she was definitely worshipped throughout all of Egypt. And she was said to be the mother or mother-in-law of Isis. So I think a lot of people have heard of Isis, but I had never heard of this Hathor or Hathors until I read this card from the Starseed Oracle. And then the more I started looking, the more my mind was getting blown. And I was like, wow, this really opened up some deep questions for me. So I wanted to bring it to you guys because as you start on your ascension path, there's going to be things that you're not going to understand, or you're going to find very curious, or you just want to be in some sort of denial about, and that's okay too, you know. But there's just so much more that we don't know, and that's why I started Oracle Rising, because there's just so much that we need to learn, and to be able to work with who we're given to raise our light and love. I do this Arcturian healing meditation, and I do it quite frequently. And honestly, you guys, it talks about the Arcturians like being transported to one of their spaceships that is circling around Earth, but not imposing, because that's not who they are, but they transport you to their healing chamber. And I went through that, and I really had like visual images of the Arcturians, and they use sound healing in their chamber. And honestly, I've never felt so at home and so much love in my entire life. And I was like, okay, yeah, very curious. So it's just so much to learn, you guys. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because when you're spiritual, you're really open to different kinds of, I want to say options, but possibilities. You know, there are other people out there and other non-people out there, and I don't think it's anything to be afraid of. And again, I do believe that mass media, governments, are keeping people afraid to keep people in line, but that's a whole nother video. So, you know, I'm just really mind blown by this whole Hathor thing, and I don't think I'm done researching, but if you guys want some really interesting sort of intergalactic meditations, you should definitely check out Steve Noble, because, you know, he's got a lot of information about goddesses and intergalactic beings, and he could be really good if you're looking for a guru on your ascension path. Like, that's who I follow right now. And also, you guys, I used to follow quite a bit Paramahansa Nityananda, and he's from India, and he does speak English, and he would always talk about the traffic of intergalactic beings coming back and forth from Earth. And the one really careful point he made was, notice that I did not say visits, I said traffic. So there's quite a bit going on that we're not aware of, and he did not seem in fear at all. Like, he's actually hysterically funny, so you might want to check him out too. It's Nityananda. And then other people you might want to follow, Alan Watts. There's some really interesting and intriguing people out there that can sort of like arch your eyebrow and put you on your own path of searching. And meanwhile, I thought this was a really fascinating subject, and I could have just sat and researched Hathors all day long, but I'm going to pass the baton over to you guys, and do your research on whatever you think is applicable to you at your stage in your ascension path, and let me know what you find, and let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about, because I'm happy to do it for you guys. But anyway, I'm going to throw on my kettle and probably have some more tea, and just wishing you guys love and light, many blessings. Take care. Bye.